No, thank you very much, House Chairperson. We take note, President, that you have admitted to your first failure on the commitments that you made during the State of Nation address. And we cautioned you when you said that they're going to have this conference after conference, and then we said to you that that is not a plan. You are not clear in terms of what you seek to achieve. Now we have failed to convene an investment conference. But we also advise you then that create a state-owned vehicle which is going to attract investment. You have appointed envoys now outside of that vehicle for investment. I don't understand the philosophical underpinnings of your policy in terms of how are you going to deal sustainably with investments that are not going to be housed or be guided by the state-owned investment vehicle, because when they come without such a partnership, they're going to come with conditionalities, dictate to you what policies you must adopt, dictate to you what you should say. But practically what we have done is the EFF now. We have gazetted.
Honourable Member, will you ask a question? Your time is expiring.
We have gazetted a process to amend the Banks Act so that it can be permissible to create a state-owned bank. Do you support the creation of a state-owned bank as recognized by the Banks Act? Thank you very much.
The Honourable President.
Thank you, Honourable House Chair and Honourable Shivambu. Thank you very much. Let me immediately say that the investment envoys are not going to work outside the parameters of what we've got in the government or the state. In fact, they are going to work hand in glove with our various government departments, our various ministers, and they are together going to be campaigning for investments to come through to our country. And what we've sought to do is to appoint people who have various networks, who have various capabilities, so that they come to assist us. And this is how we bolster the efforts that we all can make, making sure that we make our country attractive to investors. So the two are not mutually exclusive. If you thought that we are going to work in different ways and pull in different directions. Yes, the state-owned bank is a resolution that was taken by the governing party. So if you ever wanted the originator of this concept, I think you can do well to work with the governing party, because it is precisely the governing party that has, over time, insisted that there should be a state-owned bank. And indeed, it may well result in the amendment to the Banks Act, and those are the mechanics that need to be looked at and to be pursued. So, yes, I support a state-owned bank, if that's what you wanted to know. I support a state-owned bank because it is through this bank that we will be able to broaden the investment or the money pool in our country. And in fact, Honourable Shivambu, what we should really be looking at is to create more banks in our economy. There needs to be more and more banks that should make money available to the citizens of our country. I have often said that, you know, with so much money that one finds in our economy through our stokvels, if you're going to listen, Honourable Shivambu, in our stokvels, in our rural areas, there is a need for something that will amount to a stokvel bank. There is a need in our economy for an agri-bank that will be focused on financing your small, emerging, medium farmers. There is a need. There is also a need. You know, there's so much money, and I'm sure you and I belong to a funeral benefit club or something. I do. This was started by my grandfathers many years ago, and I contribute money every month to a funeral facility, and many of us as black people do that. There is also a need for a bank that will be focused on things like that. We need township banks. There's no reason why in the townships we do not have banks. So we need to move away from the monopoly of just 4 banks in our country and create more banks. More banks so that there should be more access to funding. If you go to a number of countries, Honorable Shivambu, which I'm sure you have, you will find that in a number of countries there are a plethora of banks. The reason for that is to make finance accessible to a number of stakeholders. I know, for instance, there is a women's bank which has been giving funding in small measures, particularly to women in Mpumalanga. And they have been doing so for a number of years, and they've performed extremely well. Now, I would have wanted to see this bank spreading its wings and offering small and medium loans to women throughout the length and the breadth of our country. So banking is a sector that one needs to be properly transformed. It is well regulated in our country, and we should be grateful for that. We need more banks to make funding more and more available to our people. So thank you very much for your question. You are on the right track with regard to your support for a state-owned bank. Thank you very much.